る今日だってよ。
任しとけ。
姿三四郎。
姿三四郎。
セガサターンしろ。
Here we go. Michael Jackson didn't do anything for the Sega Saturn, did he?
Yeah, he supposedly he sort of like did sort of music for Sonic 3, I think.
Yeah, it's like that was for a previous console, but still, yes.
Yeah, but it's kind of like one of those cases where there's a hint of something there, but it's kind of like unconfirmed in that. It's always kind of been really quite kind of sketchy when it comes to things with sort of Michael Jackson and that. Well, pardon the controversy in that, of course, in his later life.
Aye, Michael Jackson aside, the console we're about to play is a significant part of Sega's history.
Yeah, the Sega Saturn. I had my own personal history towards it and that. It was technically like my second sort of games console and that.
Nice.
Sort of growing up. The first in that being the Mega Drive and that, or what Americans call the USD Genesis.
Right. I keep forgetting that. The Mega Drive and the Genesis are one and the same. I guess they really like that one band with Phil Collins in it.
Yeah. The UK's not keen on that, apparently. But so Sega Saturn, which by the time this video comes out and that would be on the July the 7th, which would be the official launch date of the Sega Saturn in Europe.
Wow. Wasn't there this official launch date in a convention where they just launched, by the way, it's in the stores now. Like, right now.
Oh yes, the whole controversy at, I believe, CES at 1994. No, it was the first E3 at 1995. One of the CEOs and that went on stage and that and said that the first thing that he said in that was that it was $3.99, and then he said that instead of the due date that was supposed to be, which I think was supposed to be in the US and that, which I think was supposed to be like a few months in ahead and that, he just straight up said the console will be released now, and that just caused a heck of a lot of complications for sort of store owners and that, to the point in that where some store owners flat out refused to store the Sega Saturn on shelves and that.
That's why they had to sell it to retailers first, as far as I can recall.
Yeah, and of course Sony would end up sort of absolutely trouncing them at the convention and that by literally only seeing one word in that, literally only one word in that absolutely destroyed Sega Saturn. Like, remember I was said about like the Sega Saturn being $3.99 at launch,
right?
Guess what Sony said?
What did they say?
$2.99.
$2.99.
that was it. He just went on stage, just total mic drop.
Good grief. So, needless to say, the console we're about to interact with has had a very, very poor history. Honestly, I wonder, it's probably had a poorer history than the Wii U or something.
Yeah, well, it can, his history, you know,
Repeats itself.
yeah, in general, that there's like a lot of complications, that particularly with their US firm and Japan and that, where there are just a lot of infighting in that just sort of led to not a complete downfall, but relative failure in that compared to the outstanding success in that, the Sony PlayStation.
Yes, it was competing against the PlayStation at the time, that's right. The first PlayStation, to be precise.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo 64 as well. Some competition.
Yeah, well, for the first part of it was literally just Sega and Sony and that were competing against each other and that, with the Nintendo coming out the year following.
Wow. And so today we're going to be playing at least several of the many, many games that the Sega Saturn has to offer. And no, we're not going to be playing Sonic R today, as far as I'm aware.
No, well, if you see the prices for that online and that, hearing that is arguably a very mediocre game. So, yeah.
Can you feel the sunshine?
You'll be pleased to know that everything that's played today and that is played on authentic hardware and that. No emulation whatsoever in that. Well, even then that emulation for the Sega Saturn that is, from what I heard, is really sort of FA in that, so better off to play in the real thing.
Aye.
And not be pirates.
The last thing I want to be caught is caught for piracy. We join the ranks of Captain Jack Sparrow for that kind of thing. But anyway, we got a celebration worth of Sega Saturn celebrating to come along. We're inviting all you guys to come along, so let's get the party started.
Are you ready?
Yes, sirree! I can't hear you! Aye, Captain!
So the general setup and that of how we pick the games and that, Callum over here, who will be blindfolded, sort of pinned the peripheral tail on the donkey right here, and on that donkey and that will be these several sticky notes which would have the same name of the game here. And the idea, similar to pin the tail on donkey, is that one of these notes will be attached to the donkey itself. Wherever the pin goes, which Callum puts on it there, and that is the game that we decide to play. So, alright, sort of doing a wee blindness test here. So, how many fingers am I holding up?
11.
How many fingers am I holding up?
2.
How many fingers am I holding up?
8.
Alright, let's get cracking. Okay, when you're ready,
Alright, yeah.
and go.
Alright, here we go. Hopefully I don't hit something. Okay, where? I'm gonna go for you. Alright, so what did I go for? The one I went for is Virtua Fighter 2! Here we go!
I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out with me.
Sega Saturn